I know that you have the money, but you don't want to help me. Sorry.
But it's
Sorry,
your money.
it's not your money, sir. Sorry.
It's not your money, sir. You did not you did not send me to where I am, sir.
You did not.
Hi everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Phoebe, and today I have with me as guest number one Kelechi. She's the one on the top, and then we have our able madam, our architect as well, at Ogena as well here. So we are actually the top three content creators of our life in Germany. Let's just put it out there like that. We give you relevant information. Period.
Got it.
And today, as you can see, we are all beautiful Black women, strong, but we're also immigrants in a faraway land in Germany, and we're going to talk about something that affects all of us here, and it is Black tax. Black tax. Who is saying?
We know the person.
Black tax.
Oh my God.
Black tax.
Do you know that I just got to know about this term a few years ago, like last year, 2 years ago? I knew there was something like this, but I didn't know they had a name for it.
Yes.
I didn't know there was a name for it.
I think the term is mostly used in South Africa.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a mostly South African thing. It's just helping your family members. It's like that's assistance that you give to family members, whether you're home or abroad, regardless of where you are. Like, you just get to do your bit to support them, to give back to the society, give back to the family.
And it's seen as the duty. That part cannot be left out.
That's the thing. Like, it's strongly rooted in duty, like love. It's from an emotional point of view. Even though sometimes now the people on the receiving end are seeing it like an entitlement. But yeah, it is what it is, right? But yeah, it's basically assistance that you give to family members back home. So yeah.
It's also rooted in inequality, you know. Yeah, when there's not equal financial distribution around the family or society, and then one person with more financial capability seems to have to shoulder the burden of the other people.
Exactly. And the funny thing is that this whole black tax thing, before now, I used to think it laid solely on the shoulders of the first child of the family. But it shook me to realize that sometimes even last borns, middle children, are the ones carrying families because they are supposedly more financially capable than their older siblings. And I really feel sorry for them. As a matter of fact,
because the older siblings have poured into them, so now it's their time to give back.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Because you would see a family where, everybody was giving equal attention, equal, education and stuff. But 5-10 years down the line, you see that the last one is doing better than the older siblings. They poured the same amount of usually.
Sometimes the older siblings say that, I had to sacrifice for you to do better today. So our circumstances then were not the same, and I had to sit it out. Sometimes, you know how the first children, they don't even go to university, but they just learn a trade, and then they give back home. So it's on that money that the last ones go to
school. Okay,
yes.
That's
so
true.
then they're like, since I put you there, forgetting that the last one also was somebody who's exercised discipline and got the achievement. But I put you there because monetarily I
that's true.
Deprived myself of something, so you have to take care of my children now.
Oh my goodness. It's like investment.
Literally.
It's literally an investment.
But to be fair, it's some sort of an investment, is it not?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, because if I could do this for you, sacrifice my going to the four walls of a university for you and even support you with my business. Most of them are people who are doing businesses with their bosses, and then they take out money from whatever they're giving from their bosses, and then by the bosses or rather, and then they support you to go to school. It's just logical that when you stand, you support them if they need your help or when they need your help.
But it's
So,
expected.
yes.
It's expected that you do
It's
something.
expected. It's
You feel
expected.
indebted sometimes.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Most times, actually, yes. In that regard, I think.
But that's in families where people seem to be empathetic towards one another. Because you still have families where nobody's sending you stuff. If you're not alright, you're not alright. That's your business. Nobody cares,
Yeah.
But if it's a closely knit family, most often than not, it's even if it's not expected, you by yourself just feel like you should do this because
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we said. I mean, it's all rooted in love most of the time. Like, I'm just doing this because you're my person, you're my people, you're my family, right? So yeah.
Yeah. So, personally, have you been affected by black tax?
Who is looking at laughing? I talk.
Oh my God.
Okay, yes or no? Let's not go into details. Yes or no? I'll follow up with another question.
Personally, yes, I'll say yes.
Okay. So
in what sense? No. I'm not asking for details now, but like, is it from an emotional standpoint or financial standpoint?
I'm going to ask.
In every aspect, actually. So for myself, as as nature would have it, I'm the first child.
Our first daughters, actually.
Now you see.
Yeah.
And for me, about 10 years now. Yeah, about 10 years ago, we lost our dad. And then my mom got super sick. So somehow the onus just immediately fell on me to, not like it fell on me, but I just felt like I should do that.
You wrote the task.
Yeah, And luckily, I had just graduated. I just graduated from university. So it was like the logical thing, And since then, I would say that I've been the mother, father, uncle, auntie, everything, everything to everybody. So I have first-hand experience of what black tax could be and how that could affect one, and things like that.
Wow, Kelechi, you mind sharing yours?
Without going into details, right? So generally, for me, more from, in fact, both emotional viewpoint and financially, right? Because you see yourself sometimes feeling a certain kind of guilt, like obligation. First off, this is an obligation that you have to feel, especially being the firstborn child and having moved abroad and doing better than your siblings, right? It's kind of like an obligation to take care of them and step in where your parents cannot step in, or where their own, what's it called? What's the way to put this? Like, where they stop, you continue. For lack of a better word, right? It's like trying to prioritize your family most times unknowingly and unconsciously over your personal needs. You see yourself denying yourself of some things just so that they could have these things, and then you sometimes tell yourself, I'm in a better place than they are. But when you think about it, are you really in a better place? When you really think deep, long and hard about it, I really forget about, the conditions of life and everything. You're in a place where, it's a working system and they're not, and everything. But then with all these things, you see yourself like you're really stressed out from really trying to meet their expectations. But then down the line, I've learned that I cannot really kill myself. You cannot kill yourself. That's the reality. You cannot kill yourself. And then again, talking of like financial strain, I mean, you see yourself doing, if you don't have a budget, right, like you get to spend, rather prioritize this black tax without a budget, and you just spend as demands come. You see yourself not being able to save. That's like it's going to be to shock you. The month has finished and nothing to show for it, right? You see yourself being unable to save, unable to invest, because a significant portion of what you earn is being used to support, or rather paid into black tax, which is not an official tax, right? So, yeah, generally, it's both ways. Like, financially, emotionally, I've had my fair share of, the experience, and it's not been the easiest, but we're winging it somehow.
Yeah. Has it affected you in planning for your future as well? Like your future plans, pension, or as we were saying, emotionally, is there also a certain kind of expectation from you to actually have to go back, even if that's not your plan?
Go back to where? Sorry, I didn't get that.
To go back home to Nigeria, or
to dwell in Nigeria, to go back home to dwell. Yeah. Banana. Go and dwell here.
For why? For why?
So, okay, so for you, black tax is more of them targeting your money first, but not really about them wanting of your person. It's just monetary.
Oh no, okay, is that your angle? No, definitely. My family had the way they want you to come back home, or they will come. Like, the truth is that we are a close-knit family. Do you understand? And growing up in the same house, in the same space until when I left, if we had our way, we would want to be in the same space again. So it's not just about the money, of course. It's also about like your presence and everything, Like, even the times when I obviously cannot assist, I'm glad that they understand.
Yes. That's
and you realize, and the annoying thing is that I'm now the one that does the stressing, and it's foolish. And I've told myself, okay, if you don't have it, tell them and they will understand. And I'm glad about that. That even at least my mother can check up on me. How are you? How are you?
How are you really?
How are you? That's like, it's not like this billion. How are you? So it's not like, I'm glad that it's not this kind of, I don't come from that family where I see calls from home and I'm jumping. What do they want? I'm so glad about that. Sometimes I can get an actual and honest, genuine, I hope you're fine. And not just after asking how are you. Like, there's someone I know, an extended family member. They will write how are you, and then in 2 days they'll not come for the request.
Yes, those are the strategic ones.
Those are the worst people.
And I think it is very, very, I think it's not fair. Because what do you really take me for? You think I'm a fool? I don't notice. Like, it's a pattern. I saw it the first time, I ignored it. The second time, I ignored it. I'm like, my scope be this. So I got the jerk, jiget. So when I see such random how are you from the moon, I'm waiting for you to hit the nail on the head and come back after like a few, or maybe. And then the funny thing is that when those people actually come with the how are you, I don't bother saying how and you too, because that's when the floodgates will open and you will get all the requests in the world and all the problems of Tinubu. Do you understand? Do you understand? They'll tell you how Tinubu is, even the ITC shake. So I'm just glad that the family I come from, when I see their calls, I don't always jump because then I know that it's not just asking for stuff, but they genuinely want to know how I am doing. That's the truth.
Beautiful.
That's cool. That's actually really nice. For me, I wouldn't say it has affected my planning financially, probably because I have gone through this for such a long time that I now
over a decade
already. I now know. It's now a rhythm. It's now a rhythm for me. I know where the boundaries are, and everyone knows where the boundaries are. So when I started to take up responsibility, it was a critical point in my life, especially as in career wise. Although luckily for me, before then I had already started the hustle for a long time, so I was already making some small buy on the side and planning for myself. But over time, I've learned to set boundaries for what I should be willing to give out every month, understanding that these responsibilities are not going away anytime soon, but I still have my own future to plan for. So once that monthly budget for support of any kind is exhausted, sorry, you are going to have to wait till next month. Because I'm not going to, because I'm trying to support you and trying to make sure you go. So, and coupled with the fact that several things had to be taken care of. So, for example, at the time I was finishing, all my siblings, you can imagine they were not in school yet. Okay, one of my siblings was in school. I think she was in 200 level at the time. So, I needed to think about school fees, rent, food. So I needed to learn how to plan, prioritize what is important. If you're coming to ask me for one ridiculous thing, I'm looking at, okay, I need to pay your rent in the next 2 months. Okay, sorry, we cannot spend money on this. We have to leave it and put the money into that. So I think that the time that this has taken has given me enough time to learn, to put things in perspective, put the bigger picture in perspective, while understanding what is expected of me, or rather what I think is expected of me, but still putting my own financial future in good perspective. Because if you go broke, then who's going to do this?
Exactly.
If you break down, who's going to do it? You need to make sure that while you're supporting, you're not shooting yourself in the foot rather. And most importantly is to ensure that, for me, all the investments I try to do, I call them investments because I see it as investments, to be honest. I try to make sure that these are things that are positioning my siblings to be able to take care of themselves.
Exactly.
So we're not doing frivolities. Don't come and tell me you want to go to one party, so you need, sorry, this is not something that is good, that is beneficial for you. So if they need, maybe they come to me and they say they have some sort of, because I'm always grinding them. I honestly turn to a mother really, really too early. Honestly, I'm grinding them for every single thing. You shouldn't be wasting your time doing this, that. That comes with its own difficulties in some sense, because now your siblings don't relate with you like a sister. They relate with you like a mom, Yeah, so sometimes something happens, and instead of them to tell you, like they will tell their sister, they're like thinking about it very well, like we should be pissed, we should start giving me
I think it's the first daughter thing, like you can't help it somehow.
yeah. So I'm glad that I'm able to, create these boundaries and ensure that everyone is planning, not just myself, but also for them. So we are looking at education, not just normal school. What other kind of things can you learn? Or how can you improve yourself? So I don't have to, I give everyone a deadline. I'm like, by so and so time, I'm not sending you money anymore. So know that when we get to this point, if you cannot stand by yourself, sorry, I've done what heaven expects of me.
Yeah, you've done what you can.
So everyone has their deadline, and they know that they should consciously or unconsciously work towards it. I always feel like my immediate family is my most important priority. So any other person, like say extended family, even though black tax extends to these people in sense of how it works, those people are not my business. I'm not beholden to whatever it is that happens to you. I'm sorry. While I'm empathetic to the situation, if there's something that is much more important within my immediate family to take care of, that's what I'm going to do first, before I start thinking of one uncle or one auntie that is calling to say the grand auntie swallows some nails and stuff. Sorry, I don't know. I can't help you. I know you will learn to take the heat of being called several things, Sometimes somebody say, but you're very wicked. So I know that you have the money, but you don't want to help me, sorry.
But it's your money.
It's not your money, sir. Sorry.
It's not your money, sir. You did not send me to where I am, sir.
You did not. Sorry.
And the only
person that can have the right.
How many siblings do you have? Sorry to cut you. How many siblings do you have?
We have 4, so three younger ones. Yeah. Okay. It is. The only person that, for example, my extended family can say that they know that can blackmail me is my mom, because I feel like I can do anything for her, She knows I can do, although she too tries not to take advantage of that. But she knows that I can do anything for her because I understand the sacrifices that this person has made. And this is why a lot of times I personally don't see black tax as a big problem. It's just that we all have to understand where the boundaries are. Because when it comes to parents, these people they make a lot of sacrifices for us, especially when they are young. There's many things that they're not able to do for themselves, just to give us a good life, And then now that they are not able,
born now, they gave birth to me.
The thing you
Yeah,
understand is that the mentality you have now is not what they had then.
it's
That's
not what
what
they
you
had
want to
then.
understand.
Yeah.
Like they're almost just because you know how I don't know how it is in Ghana, but in Nigeria they say in Igbo rather they will say Ofunya Dazonwa. Like it's not just one person that trains a child,
I
and that
hate
is in
that
every
line so
ramification.
much. I hate
Girl,
that
it's what it
so
is.
much.
You
It's
know?
not what
So
it is. This new generation, we will change it because
Yeah.
it's yes, it's not one person who owns the child, it's not one person who trains the child. It's not, the child doesn't belong to one person. I get it, but it is opening doors to a lot of financial, emotional, even sexual abuse.
But I don't think that's the point where that saying comes from. I think that saying comes from training a child, not necessarily
Wait, I'm about to land.
financial.
I'm
the
about
thing,
to
girl, I think financial is also part of it in a way
because
because
that
maybe
auntie
now is
who your mother
expecting
was
that you
leaving
are
you
helping.
at her shed every afternoon feels that she has shaped your childhood and has trained you. So when you come back from the big city and you don't bring her two bundles of wrapper, she's going to be pissed.
Or you're even going too
No,
far.
that's
You're going too
ridiculous.
far. You're going too far. Let me tell you.
That's
Like
ridiculous.
there are families, right?
Oh
There
my
are
god.
families at least back then. I don't think today it's a thing, right? But back then there were aunties that lived in your house with you. Your father's sisters, your mother's sisters, they were probably going to school, working, learning a trade, but they were living in your house, right?
That's Black
Once
Friday.
they'll go out, once they, and not just that they're taking care of you when they can, but once they are working or something, they will buy you stuff, step in to several shoes that your parents may not be able to, maybe they are working late or something, but it's safe to say that they are your second parent. That's the reality. So you can't tell me now that someone does that to you or is invests their time, affection, love in that early stage of your life, and then you grow old and they come to you and say, my dear, my daughter, you will just feel one certain kind of okay, but
I
this is
don't think I agree with that totally.
And
Yeah,
Really?
I don't.
them staying with your parents, it's already your parents paying black tax.
Yes, exactly, because that's what the case was at the
Well,
time. If they're living with us, it means they were the ones in need, and my parents took care of them. So in that sense, they should be the one paying back now, not the other way around.
I mean,
And that's
back then, it was a case of, it was a, well, how do you say it? Like, wash my hand, I want to scratch your back and scratch your back. Because even though they were staying with your parents, they were also doing some things. Maybe, let me say, if your mom was a trader or a banker, for example, just had like reasons to leave the house super early and come back super late. And then they had to fit in the shoes somehow to take care of you or do some school run or, wash up or do anything. Like, they are equally helping out. That's the reality you have to
But
understand.
that's actually
Even though
also
your parents,
expected
if they're
of
being
them.
housed, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a dual. It's not as if your parents were slowly doing stuff and then they were just relaxing and chilling. Your parents were doing stuff, they too were doing stuff. So it's like you
One
can't
hand
get
was-
yeah,
the
that's why it's no longer them doing something for you or taking care of you in that
They already
sense.
paid
It's
their
more
dues.
like it's more like they are being paid for the service that they are rendering at the time. So if they
Right.
come, because we also had a lot of that. We lived in a very big house and we had so many relatives that I don't even know who they are, where they come from, stuff like that. And they were just living in our house for forever. Some of them. Sometimes my mom even say, this person was staying at my house that time. I'm like, okay, I don't even remember this person. So now, those people cannot come and tell me that because I was staying in your house that time, I was taking care of you. So now I should take care of my child. You say what? I should even be billing you by now.
Even though they were staying in your house, there was still like, in German, they would say Abgrenzung. There was still a differentiation between your nuclear family and them. And that's why you never saw them as part. But I think when we lived in Ghana, there were people that lived in our house that my mom made them feel like they were part of us.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't think that was the case. Because no.
And I remember some time back, somebody reached out to me that I was like, as Kelechi said, I feel like I already done pay my dues.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't owe you anything.
I don't owe you exactly. Now that's not to say that if I'm in a position or if I'm able to render help at the time and in my spirit I'm convinced to do that. That's not to say I won't.
It's a different ballgame.
But it is not a thing of their right to it. The only person that has a right to anything that I have is, like I always say, is my parents. Even my siblings don't even have that right. The more they can do is say, I beg, help me, you know. And then my mom too, she knows where her limit is. Yeah, where she go talk to her, say, please, please, please. Please.
Yeah.
You know, so there's always a limit to all of this, as long as we're able to find where that limit is. Then
boundaries,
Because
like no way to draw the line.
because sometimes some people that even come to make some of these requests are not even related to you in any way. You know,
And
maybe they're
use
just
emotional blackmail. They exaggerate things, and
Yeah.
then in the name of God and all those things. These, I think,
There
when
was-
my mom died, I wrote something on my WhatsApp status. I said, "Wicked word activated," and I mean that. I really mean that, because the day you fall, you would think that I'm doing this for posterity. Maybe posterity will be gracious to your children when you are no more alive.
pray that it is. Some people
But trust me, if you help 1,000 people, only 2 will remember.
very
Only 2
true.
will remember. So please, instead
Very
of
true.
giving it to posterity, concentrate on your children. You know, there's this thing in Germany called Kindergeld, where the state gives each child a certain amount every month. And if you're a parent who is taking really good care of your kids, that 250 euros is just peanuts. Because kids are expensive, yo. They'll go for riding, they go for ballet classes, they want new shoes, they need new shoes for every season. And if you have kids that are going to be growing fast, literally every second month, every third month, you're buying new stuff. Okay? So 250 euros a month is not going to do much for you.
Yeah.
But then I remember not once, not twice, not thrice. A few friends of mine were like, my parents were saving here and not even going to flex in Africa. But because of other people's school fees that had to be paid. And then when they go to Africa, they realize that these people are actually living so much better. And it felt like it's because you don't know what to do with your money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen TikTok video. There's a TikTok video of this girl. You know that girl during the pandemic that used to eat chips and laugh?
Yeah.
Elsa, I think.
Yeah, something like that. She made a video that went viral and people were even making reaction videos to that. It was about black tax as well, where she was saying that thing would end with her. That her father, her mother, and people before her did that. Like they will be sending money. They will even be ignoring or rather neglecting their own children here.
Yes.
And be taking care of one brother's child or one sister's child back in whatever country it is. And when you now go back, you see that these people are actually living La Vida Loca with your money.
Yes.
They are chilling. They are living a good life, because normally when you exchange euros, dollar, pounds, African currency will be surplus everywhere. So they're using your money to live large, and then you are here working like a pauper, living like a pauper. That she doesn't care that black tax ends with her generation. Anybody that comes out from that, she's cutting. I laughed when I
Amen
said
to
it.
that. And
she's
listen,
cutting them off.
if you're a parent watching this, the black tax, reduce it. When you are setting your budget, as Ogena is saying, setting your budget. Set your budget and put either you name it black tax or charity, and keep it really tight. Because as I'm asking about future planning, not that you're going to be using your private pension funds to be doing black tax, because that money is sunk and gone. It's not coming back to your children or coming back to you. That's the honest truth.
It is, especially, and it's also important that we know that whatever support that we're giving out, whatever term it is called, don't expect that the person is going to do good for you or your kids or whatever just because you did that. In your mind, just do that. That's what you're doing, and that's
what you're doing. That's what you want to do.
Yeah, because if you're expecting something back, it's sorry for you. It might.
As a matter of fact,
just say
as a matter of
if you don't say thank you and you don't appreciate it, you're not seeing my money again. Sorry.
that's
yes.
Because some people are very ridiculous. For example, in my case, when we lost our dad, we had and then mom was sick, so of course she can't work anymore. We had admission to my younger brother at the time, and then we needed to pay his acceptance fee. I would never forget this story, because for me that was the beginning of me being Obi Akpo. Being strong, because we had people who were telling who told me, yeah, if you can't take care of your brother now, he will have to wait until when you're able to take care of him, then you can find money and send him to school. He doesn't have to go to school now. As in, I had things. I had, because now I told you that we had a very open house. Everyone was coming to us, living in our house. Just a very big house, like a very, very big family rather, or would I say very big dependents, big, and one would expect that now that this kind of thing has happened, some of these people would just, rally around and see how they can get things fixed. My dear, nothing like that happened. So, and I remember telling myself at the time that my brother would not lose this admission because of money, because of and a few persons said that no, we're going to find this money, we're going to get this school, and we're never going to ask anybody for any money. So then I had told my siblings and my mom, said today is the first and it's the last. It's not happening anymore. Like I said, luckily I was already doing some small things, so it was easy to transition into really putting more power to making this money. And luckily we're able to do that. So imagine if one has been thinking that, okay, if she had really been depending solely on the returns that she's going to get from all the investments that she has made into other people, everyone would have just, it would have been a very terrible case. So, yeah.
No, definitely. Like for me, support that I give to my siblings, I say it openly. I tell them, my investments be this. So I'm investing in you. What I mean by that is I'm investing in you. That way, get my. Sorry, maybe like the idea of the investment is I'm investing in you, Kibauru, so that you grow up to be something at the end of the day, and you'll be able to support the family too. I'm not necessarily looking for you to support me.
For you to support me, yeah, support the family.
You cannot the family, because you can't be the only hand to support your family. You break down. But if you guys are more, you wouldn't feel the pressure. Like being the only pillar in the home, it will break you. But if you guys are more, you don't have to. Some people like
that. Some people like to be the only person doing well. Some people like to be everyone is coming to bed. But yeah, to be honest,
that's the savior mentality. That's crazy.
Yes. Some people enjoy being the one that wants to come, everybody's running up and down, hey, because please do this for us. There are people who do.
I think I can imagine, who truly enjoy that attention of being the only one that they can. Oh, that's really unfortunate. But yes,
really and those people would never render the help that is enough to get the other person out of the position of need.
They are always going to give you fish. Yes, they will always give you fish. Always give you fish, but they'll never tell you how to fish. That's the truth. And it's very sad. It's very unfortunate that there are people that have.
So no matter what you say in this one, those people will still do what they want to do. And sometimes they'll be complaining, these people, they don't know what they're going through.
They enjoy it.
You like the attention.
They're enjoying it, yes. Oh, that's really sad.
Do you think
it's crazy
affects us more as women than the men? The black tax, do you think it affects us more than it affects the men?
I think it affects the men more. It affects the men more. Because you know how it seems like it affects men more, and I will give you reasons. First of all, you know how men in Africa, the African man is expected to be able to take care of his home. Do you understand? So it stems from that. Like once they see that you're able to earn some amount of money, immediately bills go just do you understand? Like they'll be coming in, and like another instance would be, as a girl, I came to Germany, I came abroad several years, like 5 years ago. And if it was to be a boy, like at the time I came, there was no financial pressure on me. Like it was just do your thing, finish your school. Do you understand? Whatever I was giving them was out of and they were not even. My mom was like, "Don't worry yourself, finish your school." It's not when I finished and got a job. How far? Do you understand? But
according to what we agreed.
But if it was a boy that stepped out at that early age, say you go hustle. So at all will fall out of your body. Do you understand? And they know that being a girl, they don't expect you to put so much pressure on yourself. Like, just take it easy. do it softly, and when you can support. But as a guy, it's expected that almost as long as you're in the battle, find something. You will even see on Facebook, a guy will just give one small hint or signal that he has japa, and people will start writing him. But it's hard for women. People hardly write women. Like, I'm talking of maybe friends or distant relations. They hardly would write.
Cultural setup. So men would rather ask their fellow men for money. Women would find it easier to ask men for money because it's the providers.
Yeah, but the woman will not. Women asking women for money would be like maybe family members, but it's hard for you to see a friend begging a female friend begging a female friend for money, begging like I beg, begging. I've not know.
You don't have. Like, you don't know. You've not met people. You've not met.
Are you serious?
You've not met.
You have not met. You have not met people that are shameless, my sister. Don't even go there. People do it. People do worse than it, and they even take advantage of the fact that people are friends and feel like they are entitled or they can ask you. However, I do agree that. Yeah, I do agree that the men the most affected. But for women, it depends on a lot of things. It depends on where you are, probably in the family ladder. Depends on how your family is, how financially stable everyone. So all of that is a lot of factors that affect. But for the guys, they are not just going to be supporting their own family when those ones need help. If they are married, they're also going to support their wife's family most often than not. So it's easier for you to see that a husband is supporting his wife's family than to see that a wife is supporting the husband's family.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so in that sense, maybe they can say, okay, let us buy this thing for your people, but the man would most likely, support to say, okay, you guys have this problem, let's see how we can, resolve that. So by and large, I think men are affected more. However, it doesn't take away the fact that everyone feels a pinch of this at some point, as long as you are doing better than a few. In fact, you don't even need to even be doing better. Some people just feel like once you're out of the country,
once you're out of the country, I must eat your money. You hear them saying, I never chop your money.
Not even out of the country. Out of the country is even big. Out of the countries, I had people when I was in Abuja, because we were living in Lagos, but I left Lagos to Abuja after school. I had people in Lagos that would call me to say, you're now an Abuja babe, now you have money, send me money. So it's not even like you have traveled out. You just move small locations like this. They think that you have made it in life, or maybe they just hear that you got a job, or they even see you drive a car. You don't need to travel, or they see you drive a car past one day. You will know now. When I got, I remember when I had my car at the time, my mom would say, don't allow people to be seeing you driving this car because they will just be sending you messages. They think that you have plenty money.
Yeah.
So you'll be amazed.
On social media and blocking button for things like block. What's the blocking and the green? Because what's that? You're harassing me.
Yeah.
Someone cannot do. And that's why. And this is
once you send snow pictures, they be like.
I don't know why people see people, whether home or abroad, they see you posting nice pictures as an invitation to ask for something. Why? They just
I think it's because people have made it to seem like it's maybe I have a different perception on this. If you portray yourself as someone who has made it, expect that people will see you as someone who has made it.
But they should also have shame.
That's the way life is. You are the one that is having sense.
Human beings are saying it's opposite direction.
Yeah. So if you are posting any picture that portrays you to be living the good life, don't expect that people would not think that you are living the good life, because that is what you wanted them to see anyway. So it is now up to you to now say, yes, it's now up to you to now say, okay, when these people call me, I say no, I say yes, that one is how they think about it. I don't want to say it's your fault, really, but you cannot take that away. It cannot change. Once you portray things in a particular way, definitely people are going to see it that way. So it's
just great. Like, even if you just show as much as yourself sipping on a cocktail, chilling.
You that went to go and buy cocktail.
Cocktail is
Yeah, you have money now. It's cocktail cheap.
Cocktail.
You can drink
It's not
cocktail.
it's not gold. It's a cocktail. It's not palm wine.
It's not
They
palm
don't
wine. You
smudge
don't
your
drink
beer.
beer.
Let's keep it 100. Cocktail is for rich people.
It's for rich people, oh.
No.
Or you go and
It's okay.
snap picture of yourself inside aeroplane, holoplane that is a big money to buy tickets.
Small vacation. Maybe you just go to small Poland or small, just mistakenly post it. Baby girl, you're living soft life. How fun now?
Bless us. Where's my
Oh God,
Christmas? That's the one I'll be like, Christmas.
bless you. I'm not Jesus, please.
Where's my own? Let's exchange Christmas gifts then. Let's exchange.
Oh my God.
But
It is.
the last but one question probably. Let's discuss this. Do you think it's possible to escape the pressure of black side?
I don't think
It depends. It depends, actually. If you're someone who has come to the realization, who is self-aware enough to know that, okay, this thing is stuck with me for a while, and I'm talking in the immediate family, like immediate extended, because if you're married, your family is not an extended family, right? Like the family that you were born into, if that's like the point of view we're talking about here, then if you're self-aware enough to know that, okay, I'm trying to help out to see that my siblings are all okay enough to stand on their own and hustle and do their thing, and then it's just my parents, then at the end of the day, you see that, okay, when you've successfully assisted your siblings to be at a certain level in life, then it's safe to say that you are almost free, but not entirely free, because then you have your mom or your dad or your both parents, which how much do they really need if it's not for food and drugs or something, or house rent, which is not going to be a lot. I don't know if you get my point.
Yeah.
But saying that you can escape entirely, if you're someone who knows that this is what I want to do, this is what I have to do, I don't know if you can escape. I don't think you can escape entirely, except you're one that says, okay, I want to cut off. I'm done with this. That is if you have a family that exploits you. And I'll still make reference to this movie that I told you about in our last life.
Yeah.
Our life that we talked about. Where, do you watch Just Those Girls again now?
No, I haven't started.
Okay. So generally, like if you have a family that exploits you, if you tell them you're going to cut them off and you want to, forget about everything that has to do with black tax, nobody would blame you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So in that regard, it's possible to avoid it. But like I said, if you're self-aware enough to know that, okay, this is a goal I want to achieve, to help my younger ones, if you're the older sibling, to be at a certain level in life before I remove my hands, then at some point you can actually say, okay, my hands are a little bit free right now. And if your parents, unfortunately, are also no more, then you know that you actually don't have anybody to take care of. But then if you have like maybe something plotlish, like someone calls and says, actual emergency, and you have to support. But it's not like, okay, every month I have to budget for this. I don't know if you get where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion.
So I was going to say it's unavoidable. But I agree with your own point to say that it depends. It depends on the family that you come from. Depends on the kind of people within your circle. For example, if you're from a family that's already well-to-do, maybe say for example, my husband he's the last child, and all his siblings are very well-to-do. They don't need jack from him. You understand? So for him, he does not understand what we're talking about.
Actually, that's not everybody's experience.
Yeah, that's true. Not everybody can relate. Yes, not everybody.
Exactly. But however, of course, he would experience from say friends who maybe might think maybe he has too much money to throw around or something like that. So it depends on the kind of family you come from and the kind of distribution of wealth amongst both the family, both friends that you have. Because get the kind of friends, some friends that you have, you people know that if you're asking the person for something, you're not tasking the person. It's now say, I don't know how to explain it now. I have certain friends that if I need some kind of money, I'll just call them and say, I need so and so, and it will come up. And when they need to, they will call me and say, I need so it will come up. So in our own, that kind of our relationship we're not tasking each other. It's a very,
you're coming through for one another. It's symbiotic,
It's symbiotic. So some people are lucky enough to not be in these kind of, and then some people just try to not put themselves in those kind of situations. Like in case of cutting people off, you don't need to tell them before you cut them off. Don't be doing too much. You just say, come and be going, But then for those who are not fortunate enough to be in this kind of relationship, it's almost impossible to completely avoid it, because things will always come up. There'll be problems and will not just end. That will just keep coming. So the onus falls on you to then be smart in how you navigate all of this, to ensure that you're not in the process of helping somebody ruining your own life or ruining your own future, because that's the most important.
So basically, you're not going to be able to nip it in the bud entirely, but Ogena said something at the beginning of this conversation. She said boundaries. So there are some people like extended family. How do you handle extended family? Aunties, uncle, cousins, somebody who carried you when you were small. You just tell them it's flat out, it's not in my budget now. I don't have it.
The thing is, it really depends on which auntie and which uncle. Is it an auntie that keeps in touch with me? Or an auntie that just locks up and when they need help, they write you, for example? That's it. That's one. Another thing is, what exactly are they calling you for? Is it like a life and death situation? Is it like an emergency? Or is it just like a frivolous thing? That's two. Another thing is, do they maybe once, not just check up on you, but then they've hardly asked you for anything before. But then they just like, okay, let me just ask this my niece or my nephew and see if they have. And in such a case, like someone who maybe has never asked you for anything before, if you have and you are touched, you can give, of course. But if this is a returning customer, they ask you to pay, they come again next month, they come again 2 months time, or they don't just every month, because maybe they come like occasionally, they just be, then you will know that, okay, you're trying to be exploited here. Yeah. But like I said, it largely depends on relationship. Is it someone that you've not spoken to in years and then they just show up from the blues and be like, oh, my dear, longest time, and after 24 hours they now write to you, oh, my son swallowed crocodile in the night, you need to do operation. Then this is actually why they remember. I mean, the thing is, there's no one size fits all answer to this particular question. It just depends on a lot of things, a lot of factors. Relationship, how often you guys communicate, how dringent the situation is, if you really have how urgent the situation is. Do you have it? That's the up to that out. Do you have that money at that point in time, or has your budget for charity been exhausted in that month? And even if you don't have it, like I said, depending on how urgent the situation is or how bad it is it something you can actually make an exception for and pull out money from somewhere else or something else to sort out? So there are just a lot of factors that surround it at the end of the day. But definitely, like Ogena said, and like I also agree, priority lies within the family where you were born from, and generally it's even your parents that are your concern. Your siblings, you're helping them out of it's what I should do, like let me just, but not because if you say you're not going to help them, nothing will happen. Do you understand? So I'll talk more extended to the continue.
Sorry, what about you again? Because I want to go to the next question. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it's a difficult thing, to be honest. It depends. So, for example, you're talking about somebody who just calls you out of the blues. I think that sometimes there are some people that you don't even want to be talking to all the time, to be honest. That they're not even talking to you is even okay. We're not really cool anyway, so there's no point. If they call out of the blue for a need, I honestly don't see anything wrong with it, to be honest. As long as I can do it, that's the most important thing. Can I do it? And am I comfortable to do it? Am I happy with myself to do it? If those two, because some people will call you for some things that sound really, really dicey. And to be honest, you can't kill yourself. You cannot do anything about it. You're just sorry. I'm sorry. I can't help out. I can't help out. Some people will call you for something not so dicey, and you feel that I want to do this for this person. You know. So I think at the end of the day, it's totally up to you. If you've weighed the situation is something that you think you're okay with and you can afford it, I would always say do it if you can, you know, if you want to, because to be honest, I always feel like it is difficult to ask for help. Even people who are shameless, I think it takes a little bit of extra for someone to go begging, because every human being has some level of dignity in them, no matter how shameless they can be. So if they throw that dignity away to come and beg, I think it's already something. So I want to consider all of these things and be sure that, okay, yeah, I can do it. You know, whether the person has called me before or not called me before, or they're talking or not talking, for me, it's really not a problem. There are people that are important in my life that I keep conversations and relationships with, we are in touch, or those are people that are important. That you called me yesterday does not mean anything. But then there are also some people that we have seen that this is a pattern with them. You know, they just call you today, just like you have said. They call you today, tomorrow they ask you for money. So you already know them. So when people just call you, just say, Oga, do you want to ask something now, or is there something? Some people, there's a particular number that sends me. Once he don't send me, God bless you, something. I don't know.
Happy New Month.
I know that. I know that something is coming. You know, they come and tell you, know, like you said, longest time I know. Even those people, if I have it and I feel led to do it, I'll do it and forget about it and not think about it. Yes, but not that. If I don't feel it, if I tell you no, sorry, no, I'm not going to feel bad with telling you no. That's what I have learned to do. I've learned to not feel bad about saying no, I don't have it, and also learning to forget about the money once you have done. Even if somebody comes and says that person didn't really have that need, person lied to me. At the point I felt led to do it, it's okay. I'm not going to bother myself.
Okay, now you're an angel. Seriously, you're really an angel. Because me. No, because I think. Sorry, Kelechi, you raised your hand. You wanted to say something.
It's fine. Go ahead. I'll talk.
No, you go ahead, because it's the next point. It's the next point. So you say what you have.
Okay, now I just wanted to say, like, with regards to what Ogena said, like people coming to say, okay, someone didn't need it or so. What came into my head was like, you know how someone can also come to you. Also, when you said forget about the money, you know how someone can also come to you and say and be like, can you borrow me so amount? I'll pay back. That is a trap. Especially someone that you know that maybe has come to you once or twice in the past to ask for help and you gave without anything in return. I just rather tell you at that time, okay, I don't have this to lend you, but I can afford this to give you. I think that's a safe net. That's a very safe net. That way, you're not pained when they run away with your money and never give you back. Exactly. You know, and then you just give and forget. So this is also, I have never fallen into this trap before, but I learned from people's mistakes. And if anybody who is watching this as well has fallen prey to such people who borrow money and never return, the best thing to do is if someone asks you, for example, for 20 euros loan, if you honestly know that this person is not credit worthy, you can just give 5 euros or 10 and lock up and say, this is what I have genuinely, you can have it, you don't have to pay back. So that's also something that someone can also do in the regard that in the event that someone wants to borrow money who you know that honestly does not have the ability to pay back when they say they would.
So this is where, sorry, okay.
Another thing could be to have somebody that helps you stay accountable. Because sometimes you, out of the goodness of your heart, you might want to just be doing charity work all over the place. There can be someone who serves as some level of check for you. So if someone comes to ask you for this, you can talk to this person and say, this is what do you think? I think this should be someone that you hold in a little bit of give some sort of regard to or something, such that the person, and you trust the person's perception of things.
Judgment, yeah.
Yes, the person's judgment, exactly. The person can say, I don't think this makes sense, or whatever. It could be your husband, it could be your friend, it could be a parent, it could be whatever, and then you guys can talk through it, because sometimes when you might not see a picture clearly because you're within the frame, but when someone else is looking at it, the person can look at it a little bit more objectively, and then
point
give
things
you
out.
a better yes, and then you can say, this doesn't make any sense. I thought it was making sense, but it doesn't make sense to me anymore. Then you can say no or yes to whatever. But it's a difficult thing.
So, if somebody's watching this, they're probably going to think, Phoebe, why are you so harsh? It's because of what Kelechi just said. Some people will come to you asking for loans, and they will give you such a sob story, and later you realize that it actually came from a place of entitlement. And if you don't take your mind off of that money, your heart will just be having heart palpitations.
Yeah, you'll be so pissed.
And I also always ask myself these days, and I was talking to one of my older sisters about this, and I was asking her, everybody's coming to you to take from you. Who is there for you when you need someone? And she was like, thank God we are not in the place where we need someone. We can take care of ourselves. But then I compare myself. I go outside of my bubble. I compare myself with my colleagues who are not paying any type of black tax. And then that's why I was asking, does it affect your financial planning or for your future planning? Because the money that you put aside for your pension, you're already reducing it due to black tax. So you don't pay to the future, you're paying to back. But to be honest, some of the people that you are paying to, forget parents, some of the people that through family, that's what I'm asking, external family members and everything, you're actually paying back, and you see how sometimes you'll be taking things on loan to give them because they are not giving you rest of mind. My dear, change your number, you'll be fine.
Yeah, there's what I always think is this. Sometimes the support, you say this guy is Oyema too much, but sometimes I feel like the support that we give, whether we do it or not, we'll spend our money. Do you understand? Depending on, I will not go and borrow money for anybody. I will not do it. I will not take loan to solve anybody's problem. No, I will never do that. But you see all this small, because for example, most of the support that you ask, that are asked of you, are mostly from Nigeria. So the conversion rate is at the end of the day, maybe that's say 20 euro here, 10 euro there, 15. To be honest, that 20 euro, you will still spend it. You will still go and do nails with it. Or you still use it and buy something.
So spend my money on my body.
Yes, I agree with that. The point I'm making is that is not the reason why you're not planning for your future. It is because you are not. Yes, you understand. So that small money here and there is not the money ruining your pension or ruining your future. It's upon you to plan and say, this every month we are taking out this money, we are investing this into a future, whatever, to a pension, to whatever. We're not going to not do that because we want to help somebody. And we're not going to say we're not helping anybody because we want to do this. Both can coexist.
If you budget wisely, that can work.
It's just to plan wisely. Especially the thought of saying every month I have, let's say, 100 euro or 50 euro or 10 euro. This is the highest I can go to help anybody. Anybody that comes, okay, I need 5 euro. Don't check them. Maybe you don't really need 5 euro. I can give you 2. I can give you 3 instead. Once you don't do this month, 50 euro, that is the budget, is over. It's over. Nobody's going to do next month. Even if this month 50 euro did not finish, it does not mean we are spilling over to next month. Next month is 50 euros.
It's 50 euros.
Yes, it's not increasing because last month's money did not finish. Because if not, problem will never finish. The problem will come every day. There's something that will happen.
Problem, don't they finish? Make it try again.
So that's the point I'm trying to make. That the support we make, the support we give people, don't.
But girl, the honest truth, let me just tell you something. Families differ. The fact that the support you make does not take away anything from your pocket doesn't mean that the support the next person makes doesn't take away much. Because some people will build the life out of you. Both planned and unplanned. Do you understand? You may somebody now imagine that you have siblings, right? They come and tell you, one of them tells you, there's one thing, maybe clearance from school, and this you didn't plan for that one, but has entered your next month's bill.
And that's not 100, that's not 200, that's maybe 300 euros.
You get clearance, so maybe they have to receive an exam or school fees. That one is out of the regular money you would have sent. So imagine that in that month you wanted to put out a certain amount of money to invest or to do whatever it is that will make you money in the future, and then you now have to part with that amount of that bulk money to do that thing that was not initially in the plan but was told you earlier, which you planned for in the next month. That could also affect. And also imagine a case whereby, imagine that 3 of your siblings are still in school. They each individually come with one bill or the other. Like, I don't know if you get my point where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Like,
I get your point. I understand the point, to be honest. Like I said previously, problem would never finish. And if, for example, you have siblings in school, you know what they need to do. Any bill as a student is not an unplanned bill. You know they need to pay rent, so time. You know they need to pay for semester dues or departmental dues or school fees. You know when it's going to happen. You know when you're supposed to give them their pocket money. The things that come up are random things, like say somebody fell sick all of a sudden. But you see those main bills, those proper bills are always bills that are planned. Yes, so it is easy to plan around those proper bills in the long run. You already know that, okay, by September I need to pay house rent for 1, 2, 3 people. From January I've already started putting aside maybe €5, €10 on the side. It completes until September. It's not something that is coming to me as a shock. I know already that
you've already planned ahead of it. Yeah.
Yes. The
And
other things that comes up
5, 10, 15, 20 euros that you push aside for that.
Yeah.
That is
why? I have friends. Maybe I'm just advocating for this too much. I have friends whom we've worked together. Yeah, in the same offices. I would say we are generally almost at par in terms of finances, and I would say that I have more responsibility in terms of supporting my siblings than they do. I started buying my properties before they did, even though I had all of this. So it is not the fact that I'm taking care of my siblings that has stopped me from doing that. I already
because
know
you are
that,
financially literate.
Yes.
We have the wrong person for this interview. We have the wrong person for this interview.
I think that's why I advocate for planning. Planning is the most important thing. As long as you are planning and you are not, if you cannot do it, you cannot do it. That's it. Even if it comes, somebody say now that their father is dying. If I cannot do it, I cannot do it. Do you understand? I have already done everything. So, like what I do personally, once my salary comes in, every money that is planned has moved already to where they're supposed to be. The money that is so for, say, maybe we can do what we want to do, help people, whatever, it's already on it. If it finishes, it has finished. If you like, come and tell me that somebody they're going to bury you now if you do not. It has finished. It has finished. Nothing I can do about it because I cannot truly cannot access those other money because they've gone to where they're supposed to be. I really have no access to it. So if I'm able to do that, I'm able to then consciously plan for things that I need to do and still support as much as I can. Other people, when they come, they say, this is not help me. Yeah, no problem. The only thing you do is talk. The only thing you do is vex. But then there are sometimes, of course, like she said, that something can come up that is really big. Let's say you have one friend that come now and say, my mother is sick and this person is really maybe holds a very big place in your heart. Maybe random 1 million just needs to fall out. Those things don't happen all the time. Those kind of people don't come up all the time. Those ones, maybe you can go out of your way and say, okay, I pinch into the money that I already kept somewhere. If you continue pinching all the time, it is now your fault for doing that all the time. So we need to also take responsibility. While yes, these people sometimes they can be irresponsible with how they ask. You have to be responsible with how you give and how you plan so that you're able to do what you need to do. If not, my sister.
looking at the background of Black tax, it came up because, as I think Kaleisha Ogena said, it that it's from a place of love and community that we hold each other's hand and we help each other go up together. That's why it is an investment to invest in your sister's children. It is an investment to help your siblings come up, as you said, so that the financial weight is not on one person, but the whole community, by and by, we all go up. And it's a similar situation with Umwa Boy. You know, you go to the master, he settles you, But then it becomes a problem when there's this entitlement, when there's fraudulent activities, when there's blackmail and there are no boundaries. And to end this, in a few words, what is your advice to the viewers on Black tax?
Well, Ogena has plugged a lot of budgeting, Sha, because I mean that's like the first thing, right? Well, yeah, mapping out what you want to spend on what, that one is like key. If it's exhausted, and there's no two ways about it. But another thing that I will also want to touch on is like educating your family members. Letting them know that money is actually not plucked from the trees, not plucked on trees, right? So they should realize this. And then, of course, like you said, if there is a bill that would come up months ahead, they should just let you know so that you can plan for it and not just wake up with spontaneous requests like that, right? So let them teach them financial literacy, but then you can't teach them if you don't even know it because you cannot give what you don't have, right? So first off, you learn financial literacy, be grounded on how to manage your finances, and then eventually get to teach them, right? And still speaking of which, like try to invest in their not just education, but anyone who wants to do business. But if you have the capacity of setting them up, just so that they are standing strong on their own, and like I said, nobody is leaning, because at the end of the day, lean on me, Phoebe, you go press me, make I die. So if everybody is able to stand tall and assist one another, I think that, I mean, this could help to abate the effect. I think what else can I add to that? Before that, I think I just remembered now, learn how to say no when you honestly don't have. Like communicate what's like, don't set high expectations. Also, communicate your boundaries. What can you do and what can you not do? Don't go and promise heaven and earth, and at the end of the day, you cannot fulfill it. So tell them, this is, you can even let them know earlier on, this is my budget for every month to make una for no. Plan yourself within my budget. If you pass like this, my hand did not do. Do you understand? So communicating this to them, being honest and open, transparent. Because another thing to have noticed is that some people here, they give the impression to their family members back home that they are living large, that everything is soft for them, either with the cars they ride. Because in a country like Germany, I can ride the Lamborghini if I choose to. All I need to do is just go to a car hiring company and borrow it, but I know that it's going to cost a lot of money. And I can pose with you. So imagine that I do such a thing, and then people are like, baby gay, I've arrived. And then they will bill you when you actually don't have that money, So maybe in this regard, like Ogena said, so if you put out some kind of content, they will believe that some kind of sense, really, you have some kind of money. So also you do things like this with wisdom. You understand? If you're putting out anything about you enjoying, prepare yourself that they're going to bill you. So that brings me to just, if you can, just live a low-key and normal life. You're not trying to impress anybody. Don't go and do past yourself. Because if you're trying to impress people, they'll be like, there's more from where that came. So let's go get our own share. So generally be transparent, communicate boundaries, what you cannot afford, and you also show that through your lifestyle, okay? Even if you're living flamboyantly where you are, don't show it off, because if you do, and you honestly don't have it, you're borrowing for that thing, you will pay because they will bill you. Do you understand? So yeah, just transparency and teaching financial literacy, and of course budgeting. I mean, these are my opinion.
Cool. Really, really cool. For me, I think beyond budgeting as well, you are the most important person in this whatever relationship.
I like that.
So put yourself first beyond and before any other person, no matter who that person is. Because sometimes we forget to take care of ourselves. So for that reason, we go over and beyond for other people as well. I would also say that we should learn to make good friends or better friends or something, because the kind of friends you have would also impact the kind of things that people are asking you for. There are certain people that will never come and be asking you for rubbish things. You to be having quality friends. It's not that. So this would mean that sometimes you don't need to help somebody with money. You can help people with opportunities. So if there are opportunities that you are aware of, that you can, if your friends are doing well, you have less people to support beyond even just your family. Yeah. So if you have information, you have something, say, okay, well, there's a job opening somewhere, or there's this thing you can do to make more money for yourself, do it. Give it open. If there's a door you see that is open, invite everybody to enter, so that everyone can be doing well, so that when I need 10 million, I can call you to ask you without being afraid that this person, and you too, when you need it, you can call me and say, I and my friends were making joke one day, and because she had called me for very randomly, I think she had called for maybe ₦1 million or so, and then we're just laughing about it, that she can remember when she wouldn't have thought about asking, as in I wouldn't have thought about calling her for like say 5,000 naira, something random like that. But now you can confidently call your friend and say, babe, I need 1 million. And it was not like, give me 1 million, dash me 1 million. I was like, I need to pay for something now, and I'll give it back to you in like 2 days. And I know that she will send it back, So that's the level that we have all as friends grown up to, that we can, commit ourselves to a certain level of financial, help to our friends. So imagine if this your friend was not able to also grow with you to that point. So I'll say that while we are growing and while we are very important to ourselves, let's also bear in mind that if we can support our friends, our families to grow as well, so that they will not also be a burden to us. Kelechi had said about telling them your budgets. I would say against that. Don't tell them,
because they would drain it. No, because it told me that I can and I already
until that budget's finished.
Cook a different story.
You don't need to know how much I'm keeping aside as giving away money. If it has finished in my hand, it has finished. I don't need to tell you, because you don't know who has asked me before, and stuff like that. People would always take the power that you give people is the information that you give them,
Exactly.
So once you're giving them that information, my sister, they will rip it. And most importantly is to live within our means, because a lot of times we try to do too much, not just to show off on social media. We really try to do too much, even in supporting our families, because we are really, really living beyond our means. We are not just telling them that I'm living big. You are spending there, you are trying to, for example, maybe say somebody's birthday, you want to show them, say that you too, you are an abroad person. You will say, let me spoil you. You cannot afford this, my sister, don't do it. So live within your means, not just as a lifestyle, but as you interact with other people as well. How you are throwing things around, how you are saying the bills on me, because bills on me. Say, all this big name that is to kill dog,
I like that.
Well, that's call you big name. You just be feeling really cool. There's no harm in saying it. There's no harm in saying I cannot afford something, because some of us, our pride is so much, it's so big that when somebody calls you and say, I'm getting married or I'm doing PHOEBE, because this might not necessarily be black tax in it, in that sense of, say, the person is asking you for money, but the person say, I'm getting married, or is my PHOEBE want to. You are abroad, for example. You're not going to wear the clothes. Why are you buying it? because of
Support.
pride. You want to just, you want to, not even necessarily that you want to support the person, because if you want to support the person, you could say, okay, I'm giving you so amount of money as support for your wedding, as a gift. But
you know why they
most
do
of them
that?
are not.
Because sometimes, like the thing, what I've come to realize is that they know that you're not going to wear the outfit, so they're telling you that as an expectation that, okay, you would support me through this, even if you know that you won't wear the outfit. So I think it's just like both parties know that, okay, this one, I'm not wear the clothes, but it's just to support. So I think it's an unspoken thing. That's what to
Well,
say.
maybe I guess me, I don't used to. Maybe I guess I'm seeing it in a different way. For example, when I was in Abuja, I had a friend who was getting married in not even my friend, a cousin actually. He was getting married in Lagos at the time. I had calculated the cost of everything. I should be your travel. I was like, I can't do this. I'm not doing this with you. I just called her and said, see, what I can do, I can send you this amount of money. And then that is because if I come, I spend all this money, you probably will not get this from me as gifts or whatever. So I rather send this to you. It benefits you more than me coming. And honestly, she appreciated it, yes, because it made the most sense financially. She could use that money to do something better. I said, send me pictures. I'd really love to see all these things.
Transparency again.
Yes, because black tax doesn't only affect those who are living abroad. Even within where you are living, this small random
things.
That our pride will not let us just leave it.
That's the thing. It's the pride, and we have to detach our pride from money. And I was saying this in our live. So if you have not watched it, it's on my channel with Kelechi, how to save money as an immigrant in Germany, and the hacks, like we shared practical hacks. And some of these things are, you don't have to perform that you have made it. That's one thing I've learned from the German culture, is that you will not see a rich German. Even sometimes their cars will not show you they are rich. Okay, when they are starting a business, they're starting in some garage. So it's not like for us when we start a business, we think about brand and everything. No. They take the substance of the business first, and then later they think about brand and bringing it out and all of that. When you are doing well, as Ogena said and Kelechi said, do well for yourself. And also, wealth is not only just buying the fancy things and the luxury items. Wealth could just be being able to buy healthy food, organic food, because those are the more expensive things, prolonging your life and preserving your health as much as you can. This could be wealth, or even maybe having someone clean your home for you, being able to afford that, those things. But it's not about how much deep in dirty green and envy green or cockroach brown. It doesn't matter. And I used to be someone who'd be like, oh, if I'm the person away, I have to show the person that I really care about them, then I would want to give a significant amount. But these days, I've learned not to. And this year that I started doing that, I've been very fine. Like, I don't even think about it anymore. Before I'll be like, oh my God, would they appreciate it?
And the way that the funny thing is that with those money that I say you want to give them, whether you give them half of the money, the person will still be grateful that you gave them that amount of money.
And they'll they will forget it anyways.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Sometimes you say, let me give this person, let's say 50,000 naira. And really, maybe that's a little bit above what you have planned or budgeted for or something. Truly, if you give the person 25, the person will still be very happy. Because I was probably not planning on this money, or I didn't really think about it or something. Yeah, you'll be amazed how much that can go.
Yeah, I think we have come to the end of this video. I hope you guys have learned so much, because I have, and I know that my wicked mood continues.
Yeah, so
there is no sin in saying that I can't do it. There's no sin in saying not today. There's no sin in saying till this much and not anymore. You can set the boundaries, and it is just fine. Okay. And you can't buy people's love and appreciation. That's another thing that you have to know as well. You giving doesn't mean that they're going to give that love and appreciation. They don't owe it to you. You can't buy love. Simple. So just do what you can do within your means. Take care of yourself. As Ogena said, you are number one. Kelechi says be transparent. But be transparent with a twist. Don't tell them exactly how much the budget for them is, because they will come back for it. Even me as a child, if I were a child and I was depending on my budget, because as she said, my budget for you is 100 euros. I wouldn't think I only got 70 this month, so the 30 is for her. No, I'll come back for the 30. It's a story for the 30. I don't know how, but that 30, I must get
it will come out.
It's for me. So please don't tell them. But take care of yourself. Think of planning for the future. And I hope that you've taken so much out of today's conversation. And I hope to see you same time next week. Probably it's going to be our last video of this year 2024. So if you have been supporting this channel, God bless you, okay? God bless you big time. And keep coming back, keep sharing, keep liking. And of course, my ladies are also on all social media platforms. My English is not coming again. Platforms. So Kelechi is okay. Please introduce yourselves and tell them your social media handles and everything.
I think we'll just pop them on the screen. You can pop them on the screen.
I think it's just tear them.
I think it's Kelechi _ something like that. But once you just type both names, my name and surname, you would see it. I mean, for my YouTube name, it's easy to locate. In fact, it's linked somewhere in my YouTube. So if you're following me on YouTube, you would already find me on Instagram and on TikTok. Yes. I'm trying so hard to come on TikTok, but yeah.
I'm Niger Girl in Germany on all social media handles, so YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. Niger Girl in Germany.
Yes, and I'm going to link them down below as well. Their names, probably you've already seen them in the description and title. So go show my ladies some love and tell them that Phoebe sent you, or you're coming from Phoebe's channel, so they know where you're coming from. And with that, whereby after money leaving.
Ciao.
Merry Christmas. That's for Christmas, okay?
Yeah. So bye. I just want to say sorry.
Let me end the recording.
Yeah,
you talk first before I okay, hold up. End recording.